Welcome to the Dreaming Machine, animation podcast part of the Geek Show. Today, we are telling you why you should be watching Helluva Boss. It's a spoiler-free primer guide to those not in the know about why this may be your new favourite show.
Why aren't you watching Helluva Boss though? Why are you listening to us? You should be just go out there, go to YouTube and watch Helluva Boss.
Well, here's the thing. It's free. It's on YouTube for free. You can watch it right now.
I mean, there's free and there's the amount of plushies I've bought from this show.
I'm so tempted to stop the episode here. I think that's such a great summation of why people should watch it, is the free YouTube status and the plushies. So as you hear, it's Amy here with myself, Joe. So yeah, let's get into this. Why should people watch this? What can we tell them without spoiling anything?
So, Helluva Boss is one of multiple animated adult series created by Vivian Medrano and available on the Vivzy Pop YouTube channel. It follows a group of imps in hell as they get into all sorts of interesting situations with their business.
So the imps, and imp stands for immediate murder professionals.
Well, they are imps, as in that's the class of demons they are within hell, which is one of the lowest tiers of the demon hierarchy. But also their company is called IMP, the Immediate Murder Professionals, and they kill people. Specifically, if you have anyone you want to settle a grudge with in the mortal world, they will take on a contract to go and kill that person.
And so it's very, as you can probably guess from that setup, it's a very bloody show. But
Oh, absolutely. It has very over the top violence.
yeah, swearing, violence.
There is a
Yeah,
content warning at the start of the episode about the violence, the constant sexual references,
the
the
sexual content.
language.
Yes.
It's so good though. It does it all so well. And the thing you don't expect is how the show creeps up on you with really caring about the characters and their relationships. So yeah, to set it all up, you have IMP, which consists of the boss of the company Blitz, who's we'll get into him in a bit, and the various employees there. So you have his adopted daughter Luna, a hellhound, who's voiced by Erica Limbeck, and quite impressively so. She just has that brilliant, just sort of, I am so done with this vibe to everything. And then you have the other two employees of the company, who are Moxie and Millie, who are possibly the most adorable and wholesome couple in this entire show, and probably out of many other shows.
Yeah.
And you have Vivian Nixon as Millie, and the absolutely incredible, needs no introduction, Richard Horvitz as Moxie, who is also the voice director for the show.
And if you don't recognize that name, like go and have a look on Google, and like a lot of them was iconic characters in history.
Such an
Yeah,
iconic voice.
have been voiced by him. It's right.
He does that particular type of voice so well, and it works really well for Moxie. And yeah, imps aren't supposed to be able to get out of hell, but Blitz has acquired, shall we say, a means of getting out of hell. And oh boy, is that going to lead us down a rabbit hole later on.
And I think what you said about the characters. When I watched the first episode, I immediately, perhaps lazily, thought of Ren and Simpy because of the coarse content and very politically incorrect. I thought it would just be a lot of swearing and gore for show kind of thing. But then you find out you really do start to care about the characters.
Yeah, it becomes really emotional.
Yeah, and the writing's cleverer than you give it credit for at first, or at least I did, because I thought or is this like swearing for substituting it for like wittiness and the sake of humor and just to be controversial? Well, actually, as you get more into it, um, you realize that it's actually quite cleverly written and
Yeah,
more emotional than you think.
yeah. If you look at the pilot, it comes across like it's a show that's trying to be, the sort of like some of the like sort of edgy early 2000s stuff sort of coming out of like Newgrounds and stuff.
Yeah,
And then no, it's this show is deep,
yeah, it really is.
especially when you get into Blitz and Stolus. That's Stolitz is the ship we were not quite expecting to become such a thing, um, and
Yeah,
become so central to a show. So yeah, Brandon Rogers and Bryce Pinkham are doing a great job of voicing those two.
it's definitely worth like stick with it if you're not sure about the pilot because it there's more going on than you think.
There's a lot more than
Yeah,
that. Also, honestly, some people may want to just come for the songs because this has some fantastic songs. I think you've watched as far as the episode where Christina V shows up for the first time
yeah,
as Veronica
yeah.
Mayday, the succubus, which is absolutely fantastic. Just like when she shows up and just has an incredible song in one of the episodes
I mean,
there.
I'm gonna stick my neck out and say the songs are kick-ass. The songs are brilliant and like
Yeah,
almost
no, the
uniformly.
songs are great.
Yeah, it has songs in like almost, well, I'd say almost like every episode I think that I've seen so far, and
Yeah.
like original songs, kind of synth pop with rock stylings to it. Is that a good description?
I mean, there's more to the songs than that. Just wait until that's the thing. There's a bunch of variety to the songs as well.
Yeah, like ballads, like all kinds of stuff. And so the music's great, and you could just watch it for the songs, really.
The art style is also fantastic. It's so all of the like kind of designs that that are in this show and in other stuff from the same studio like Has Been Hotel. It all owes a lot to the kinds of comics from the early 2000s, um, sort of like things like Johnny the Homicidal Maniac and the
Yeah,
like, and like Lenore and stuff like that, which then led to getting shows like Invader Zim, a really big inspiration, which really shows. I mean, getting Horvitz, the voice of Zim.
yeah, which is pretty ace. I mean, that's a great series, isn't it? Invader Zim. Just a third.
Such a
If you
good
haven't seen
show.
that, you should
It's a
definitely
classic.
watch that as well.
We will definitely do a retrospective on it sometime.
I mean, it's kind of like I saw this in a review about the show, and I agree. It kind of has a slight Animaniacs vibe as well, maybe. Well, obviously with the
Hmm.
music, but just with the like no holds barred like antics going on. Like there's any edge to it. I mean, there's tons of like animation you can reference for it. I think even if some people find the show a bit too coarse or like adult or like or edgy or whatever. Like I think pretty much like the animation's like universally loved. The animation's like fantastic throughout, and the
Hmm.
character designs and style.
Yeah, it's a really strong, consistent style.
Yeah, so you know that it's like they're really passionate for the art form, like the guys behind it, the studio behind it.
And as it goes on, there are some really well animated bits. There's a fight scene in one of the later episodes that's just a delight to
Yeah,
watch.
and that's not it's not a given that the animation would be this good because you mentioned like Newgrounds and stuff, and like you got like maybe variable quality and that kind of stuff, like in like
But I mean, with
yeah,
this is proper, full professional
exactly.
work.
Uh, yeah.
Um,
So don't let the background or
the
the
fact that it's on
YouTube
YouTube deceive
is
you.
yeah, you can see from the credits at the end of end of each episode, like it's a proper like professional production with people who are like animation buffs and like totally get it. So the animation's brilliant, the song's brilliant. It's just like you have to accept that you shouldn't be watching it with the kids. I think
Oh, absolutely.
and just accept the like if you go along with that edgy nature, there's a lot of like there's lots of like humor there, of course, but also like it's
This is a show that you stick on after you've put the kids to bed, after you watch The Dragon Prince with them.
it's kind of because we've done Harley Quinn recently as well, haven't we? In recordings, and so that's got a
Yeah. Yeah, it's similar with the violence and stuff.
yeah. I mean, I wrote an article about this as well for the Dreaming Machine about the amount of quote unquote adult animation of like really high quality coming out now, like in the mainstream.
Yeah, it's great. Like I remember when that was a bit more niche, and now it's just become so much that there's so much broader pickings with that now.
So yeah, check it out. Go to YouTube.
I remember sort of staying up middle of the night to watch something like The Venture Brothers.
Yeah, I mean, Adult Swim was a real pioneer. But just going back to like VHSs, like which are like hidden secrets, or like all kinds of stuff. And yeah, and now like I talked about an article like Vox Machina and things like that. So which is like massive production budget and lots of attention. So it's yeah, make sure you're writing it, watching it with the right people, the right environment. But like enjoy it and check it out
Yeah.
definitely.
And honestly, we have now been talking probably longer than some Helluva Boss episodes are. So you could have been getting much more entertainment actually just watching the show.
Ouch. It's true though. Yeah, it's not much else. Any further thoughts? Or I mean, yeah, it's short as well. It's short, free on YouTube. Plus, it's good. I don't think there's much else we can. Oh, the plushies. Mention the plushies. I think our first 10 seconds literally did some up.
Part of how they finance it all is through the merchandise store. It's nice to see that nowadays there are more options open than having to go directly through a network, getting your pilot picked up by them and going with that. And I think that's probably been quite helpful for a lot of people looking for work during the pandemic as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. I mean, it's even like part patron funded, I believe. Like, there's all kinds of yeah,
So like, yeah, if this is that I am all in favor of this kind of thing, because if this means we can get more high quality stuff with less like less publisher interference, I'm all for it. Because that's been the death of so many good shows.
have they done a soundtrack album? Do you know?
I'm not aware.
If they got plushies, they should definitely do a soundtrack album. But I digress.
Yeah, the music is so good.
The music's great. So yeah, I don't have any further thoughts. I think I'm just glad you introduced me. I hadn't. I have to confess, I hadn't heard of it, but like it got like there's like six. I think it's like 60 million views in the first episode.
It's very much a word of mouth thing, I think.
So yeah, and here we are helping to spread the word. So check it
And
out.
hopefully our mouths have spread the
Indeed.
word.
So yeah, check it out if you haven't. If you do check it out and you're not sure, like I would give it a couple of episodes first.
Absolutely. It's one of those ones where, like, you watch the pilot, you watch the first episode, it comes across like it might be trying a bit
Yeah,
hard. Uh, at the very least, watch up to episode 2, Lululand,
yeah,
because that's when some of the emotion really creeps in.
yeah. And I want to talk about that episode, but I can't. That'll be a spoiler. But yeah, definitely. There's an essential relationship with that episode. It's great.
I think we may at some point have to do a deep dive on Hell of a
Mm.
Boss.
Cool. Okay. Let us watch it. Check it out. Let us know what you think. Thanks, Amy.
And thanks everyone for listening.
Take care.
Bye bye.